Randy, I'm a political realist.
Yes.
If you pay close attention to all, and I was careful with the choice of my words, during the Ken must go period, crisis, I kept saying, and you can go back and check, I kept saying, we've done this today in the interest of MPP.
Of the party,
Because if this press conference has not taken place today, we have total annihilation staring our faces in 2024.
You said so.
I kept using this word, total annihilation. What had happened to John Mahama in 2016 was bound to happen to us in 2024.
Well, you said it would be worse.
Yes, I kept saying, I'm not Musa Dankwa. I'm not a great mathematician. I was weak at maths. Understand? But political experience and studies, analysis. And as a politician myself who have gone for elections, Randy, my polling station was a clear indication on Saturday that MPP had lost massively.
Really?
Subin is the heart of Kumasi. As a parliamentary candidate for the 2016-2020, my polling station is just down about 2 minutes walk from my office, my private office in Kumasi. So when I go to Kumasi on Saturday, I had my usual watching, right? And then I say, 8 o'clock. I normally start I will go and vote at 8 o'clock sharp. And then I will do the inspection of the 169 polling stations at 170. Mine also. There was 2 there, so 168. Normally when I get there, I have about 200-300 people massed up, ready to vote. When I got there on Saturday at 8 o'clock, there were about 50 people, 50. So I said the driver should take me to a couple of polling stations. And because I border Asukwa, I also went to Asukwa. And there were no queues. So quickly I went to
scenarios.
Yes, I went to the MP's platform and said to Sheila Battels, MP for Ablekuma North. I think she was in charge of the get out the vote. I said, Sheila, please get the volunteers to go and get people out because
go around.
The elections I have contested as a candidate. And what I witnessed in March on Saturday, we are in crisis. You see, but my worst fears, Randy, have been confirmed at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. I was paying attention to Musa Dankwa. I was paying because I have the 4 markets in Kumasi, the 4 big markets. They are in my constituency, right? That constituency, my mom was born there 84 years ago, right? So all my uncles, so that was just like my hometown. So everything I get to hear, and when the traders start complaining, because they know the MPP is a better manager of the economy. So when the MPP is in power, their problems were assorted. But you could see they were not ready to vote. They were not ready to come out to vote. That shock, that sent a shock through, my spine. Then when I got to Accra, I was driving home. They now live in Zekuku. So I was driving. Where are the queues? So when I got home, the first thing I was switch the TV on. I started making calls. I said, "Look, this election we are in crisis." But Randy, I was not expecting the magnitude of defeat. I was not. I thought John would probably do 140, 150. Take Parliament. Win convincingly. I was not expecting a second round. I was not. I was expecting that he would win hands down because from what I had witnessed in Kumasi and Accra, I thought, no, this one, it won't work for us. Then that fell. So when I got to Accra, I kept telling people, like you're referring to Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo is a minority MP. He's doing these broadcast against our party, and we don't respond to them.
You don't have a response.
No, but Randy, why don't you have a response?
Because it's true.
Fine. So the middle classes in our country, they were hoodwinked. I don't say they bought into what Akufo-Addo was doing and punished us.
You shouldn't have done it. If you didn't do it, you have nothing to broadcast.
Well, but I'm saying that that is what.
But it's not that there's an official response.
Yes.
What are you going to respond to?
Oh well, look, Randy, he comes out, he puts something out.
You have been caught.
Okay, that's fine. No, that's fine. And now, we must also, in the interest of this country, advise John Mahama. He has one of the largest, he has the largest majority
Ever.
But managing expectations comes from Parliament.
Right.
John will fall or rise by Parliament. Mark my words. John Mahama, with this victory, he will fall or rise by Parliament. You mark my words.
Explain that.
Yeah. Huh?
Explain that.
Oh, but you've seen it. You've seen it. You have 169 MPs, right? You can't make all of them ministers or deputy ministers. But at least you must know that once they are an MP, they have brought something to the table by canvassing for you. Because every MP, when I was a candidate in 2016, 2020, my main interest, Eugene, your votes, Akufo-Addo's votes. Because Akufo-Addo wins as president, I know I'll become a minister. So as I'm looking after mine, I have an eye on his.
Securing his.
You understand? So you are fighting 2 elections in the constituency in one day. So when we come to Parliament, 169, and Randy, this person is not made a committee chair, he's not made a board chairman, and these appointments are coming from outside to the detriment of people who use their resources to campaign for you to
But
campaign.
they are not the only people who campaign.
I'm coming. I'm making a point. But you see, they are the first category that you have to look at. But they are your MPs. And the Constitution says majority from Parliament.
Yes. And President Mahama says he will do 60.
Okay, fine. The 60.
So a minimum of 31 from
the 60,
Parliament.
fine. You can do that. You can do your board chairs. Because one, there are so many agencies too.
So many.
One, we know everything. We've been to
But an MP
yes.
cannot be a CEO.
No, but you can be a board chair.
Yeah, or a board member.
A board member. You understand? All these things must be looked at. Because you see, once the noise starts from the chamber, you're on your way out. Because you don't have the enthusiasm.
Or you are in crisis.
Yes, you don't have the enthusiasm to go out there and work for the party or the government. Now, Babi record, when we come, you see NDC fully packed. Our side, sometimes you are even like to have 20 people behind Afenyo. Why? You always say, oh, I'm going to fight for my own. Why should I come and waste my time?
But when Che was there, people were coming.
No. Well, they were coming, yes, possibly. But you see, the latter days, people have interest elsewhere. And then, beyond that, after looking, that's my advice to your mama. I don't have to advise me, he knows. But if he loses Parliament, he's out. Then the whole party will go. We told some people, they didn't believe us. Some people said, constituency my foot. Today, they are biting. Yes. Already. It's not possible.
Sir?
Constituency my foot. Somebody goes and gets 78% for Akufo-Addo. And get about 75% for himself. And the quarter constituency my foot.
Really?
Arrogance.
Sir?
Arrogance. Also, coalition. Police station can't be that. Like I said, because the party down. Andy.
Yes.
Now let me advise my party elders. We need to start our rebuilding. You see, otherwise, this venting, we are capping on. It will go on all the way for the next 2 years. We cannot wait for the police station elections in 2026. We can't.
And that's the next year.
Yes, because they came in 2022. We can't afford it. The team-led executive must set up and call for an emergency next meeting. They must bring out their timetable. Maybe if there are constitutional amendments, let's go and deal with it. If we don't have a timetable for elections, because you see, we need to put the structures in place and look forward to electing the flag bearer right away to give the party direction. You understand? Otherwise, we are coming on. We have heard, Mama, this person, I went and sat in for 6 hours, he didn't see me. You hear all that every day. So, may I say that between now and end of January, we should allow people to vent. You understand? They should all vent. And after that, we can come together and go for a national executive or national council meeting and with a clear time frame of when these guys are exiting, right? And pave the way for all the party officers, all the internal elections to take place, apart from, of course, presidential and parliamentary, which will go probably in 2026, so that we can begin to give the new base a direction. Otherwise, Massa will be in trouble. Because Mahama has honeymoon probably for the next 18 months. Ghanaians will bear with him. You understand? Because he's going to come out now also with, there's nothing there. We chew the bone to the marrow. There's no marrow in the bone. We chew all sorts of things will come up. But what is important is that what are we going to do as opposition? What you must do, you must begin to rebuild the party. So this is the reflection moment. Everybody can vent, everybody can say what they have to say. We must all come to an end after end of January. February, serious business. You understand? We can always bring the dates forward for our elections. the internal election, the polling station, the electoral area, the constituency, the region, the national. Let's do all that by end of next year. You understand? So there's a new team in place to give direction. Then we are looking at going to select the flag bearer and then the parliamentary candidates around 2026, 2027. That is fine. If you don't do that, and we've seen it with Akufo-Addo. Anytime he lost an election, you will live for 2 years, and there will be so much confusion. Now we know clearly that the chairmanship, the leadership of the party has reverted to the national chairman. It's always the case. So he should sit down and come up with a timetable. There's no need for anybody to start saying, let's wait.
How do you then deal with those who left the party, some having left, but they obviously sitting on the fence? There are some who
I'm sure
did things against the party.
I'm sure if you allow all of them to vent, Randy, and once the ventilation is over, they will all come back. Because they were probably unhappy with one thing or the other. And I keep saying, you cannot.
And the venting will include some of those who you are accusing, because they probably too, if you speak to them, they might also say that they also have things to say.
Oh, if you have things to say, you see, it's about leadership. If I mention people, they are mentioned because they have leadership and responsible positions to put things right. I'm not saying it because I enjoy mentioning their names.
Right.
Akufo-Addo has been the leader of our party since 2007 December. I was his polling agent in Legon on that fateful day. Since that day, till 11th of November or so, when Bawumia was elected, Akufo-Addo has been the leader of this party. So how can we not blame him for what has happened?
That's about 17 years.
17 years. Nobody, from Buzia through all the way to Nanado, has had the opportunity of leading this party for 17 years. So when these people are saying, we should be talking, why should we be talking? LPP is a public institution of human beings. Do you want them to sit and rather go and vote against you like we witnessed? Or you want them to vent and after all we bring them back and build a party? Which one do you prefer? So we cannot talk about the defeat, the seismic defeat of our party, the seismic defeat of our party in the yesterday poll without mentioning Akufo-Addo's name. And some of the things that his family members have done to people of this party.
Your geography is sound.
We have to talk about it. Otherwise, we are not going to make progress. We cannot make progress. If any MPP, 1 million people who can sit and say, for 18 years, the matter has been leader, 7 years, I'm leader of this party, but it's okay, don't talk about it. Let's move on. How are we going to move on? People will then go back and start planning and plotting and voting against the party. So, I told you, MPP, we need an open heart surgery where people must be allowed to vent. And then when that's all done, you can then go back and rebuild the party. It's necessary in politics. The Conservative Party is doing it in Britain. I'm sure the Democrats will also start soon in the US. After going through an election, when you lose, that's what you do to bring people on board. You understand? You cannot say that we can't talk about it. When we lost in 2000, he didn't blame Kufo. There are people who are talking today and who think that Akufo-Addo should not be blamed. They didn't know the same people blame Kufo. Didn't they write articles against Kufo for building a Jubilee House?
For building a candidate.
He didn't even support, so he sabotaged. Didn't you hear all these things? Now, we are going to talk. We are going to build a party. And we cannot build this party without mentioning Akufo-Addo's name. Because he's been leader for 17 years. He was in opposition for 8. Government for 8. How can we discount him? Then we shouldn't talk at all. We are going to talk about it. And nobody claims that he loved Akufo-Addo more than me. I made sure he became president of this country. When people doubted him, I made sure I was one of his front runners in this country. Sat here, fought people, made him president. So who loves him more than me? I will talk. So those who think that Muna party is their own palabra. But if we don't talk, Massa, in so much we have no idea.
Sir?
People who went to University of Ghana with my father could, they are in their 80s, 84, 85. They will call you when you go to them. They show you what DDEP has done to their bonds.
Whoa.
Quietly.
Their pension.
They do you know what I'm hearing? They should come. They should come. They start coming on social media to insult. People have lost serious investments. We shouldn't talk about that. Then how are we going to build a party? But Randy, how are we going to build it? Tell me. When Mahama lost, What insults did he chop from his own NDC people? Those who were contesting with him to become flag bearer. Didn't they insult him? That he has caused the parties to waste defeat? Didn't you hear it in this country?
Yeah.
So some people can be criticized, others cannot be criticized. And because you are bitter. Bitter about what? We are going to talk about it. And it's allowed in politics. We must talk about it and let people feel relieved so that they are happy to come back for us to rebuild the party.
Right.
Well, we need everybody to rebuild the party.